Good evening, friends. If you can hear the nasaliness in my voice, please bear with me. I have allergies, cold. I don't know what's going on, but I have stuff going on here, so just bear with me, and hopefully you can hear me okay. I have a few minutes tonight before I have my next meeting. I want to talk about don't support a charity, which maybe might be a clickbaity title. That's on purpose. Don't support a charity. Support the mission of the charity. Let me tell you what happened today and what made me think of this. First of all, I read a book that was recommended by my friend Courtney Markley. It's called Coach Your Champions, and it's about the idea of getting on board with a cause to support a charity or to support a mission. Don't just support the charity or the organization itself. I've talked before several times about how I speak weekly at a men's addiction recovery home that is run in coordination with my church called Next Step Recovery. And I do it not because I love the Next Step organization. I do it not because I love the executive director, Todd. He and I are good friends. We have lunch occasionally, but I don't do it because I love him. I do it because I love the mission of the organization. I love the mission of helping guys get on board with changing their lives, living a life that matters, helping them stand on a rock of a firm foundation and pursue what they really want to pursue. That's the mission. And it just so happens that Todd Robinson is the executive director and we're good friends. It just so happens it's called Next Step Recovery. It just so happens that they own this building in Macon. I don't do what I do there because I like the ministry, because I like anything about it other than it's the cause that I support. So today, Todd texted me and said, "Hey, we're going to cancel your session for today." And I called him and I said, "Hey, that's fine. What are the guys doing? Because I would like to do it with them, whatever it is." And so he told me that they are attending a church on the street event down the street from the recovery home. So I went with them, and I sat in 80-degree weather in the sweltering sun and listened to a 15-minute challenge on God's calling for my life with a bunch of guys who are actively in addiction recovery. Why did I do that? Because it's not about Next Step. It's not about Todd Robinson. It's not even about the fact that I go and speak. It's about that I support the mission. And today I had a time blocked on my calendar that said I am supporting the mission. I'm supporting the cause of Next Step during this time. And so I went with them to do the things they're doing, to support the guys in doing them. If I was only there because I wanted to support Todd, or I was there just because I wanted to support Next Step, or I was there just because for some other reason, I would not have gone to church in the street today. But I went to church in the street because it was supporting the mission of Next Step, and that's what I care about, is the mission of Next Step. I was talking with one of my entrepreneur friends yesterday, and he's having a lot of success running some webinars. But he was hoping that he would get some prospects, some maybe lukewarm leads into his webinars. And what he's finding is he's getting a lot of his clients into his webinars, which is good, but he's trying to figure out how do I get prospects to come to these webinars. And I said, Mark, what if you leverage the relationship you have with your clients? Because they're showing up for some reason. It's not because they love your business. It's not because they love you. They might like you as a person, but it's not because they love you as a person. They're showing up month after month after month for these webinars because they are buying into the mission of what you're talking about. What if you leverage that and offer them, hey, if you know somebody who could be served by the mission of what we're talking about these webinars, if you know somebody who could be served by the mission, by the cause that I'm supporting and pushing forward, right? He's in financial coaching. He's about creating financial freedom for families so that Christians can live their lives in a way that matters. It's not about him. It's not about his business. It's not about the fact that it's easy to get on Zoom and log into these webinars. It's about the fact that people are noticing that he's talking about financial freedom, living your life in a way that matters because we're financially free. And I said, Mark, what if you leverage the relationship with those who already bought, not into you, not into your business, but into your mission, and go and help them and get engaged in that mission by bringing others along. The book Coaching Champions talks about it talks about the idea, instead of fundraisers, instead of donors, it talks about champions. And it's about coaching your champions, coaching the people who are already engaged in your mission to get other people engaged in the mission. Because it's not about your business, it's not about your charity, it's not about you, it's not about your board of directors, it's about the mission they support. My mission is to elevate people to live in such a way that they hear, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant," when they get to heaven. It's not about me. It's not about my business. It's not about my coaching. It's not about my writing. It's not about my speaking. It's not about the fact that I do lives. It's about my mission. My goal is to take people who aren't yet involved in the mission and get them to participate in the mission. And once they're participating in the mission, is to elevate them to be engaged in the mission. And then once they're engaged in the mission, to elevate them to be owners of the mission. And they're the ones who are getting people engaged and getting people participated. Don't support a charity. I was listening to, I think it was K-Love this morning. I don't really listen to the radio much, but the kids asked to listen to some music on the way to school, so we turned on K-Love, and they're running a fundraising campaign right now. And it was really interesting as I've read Coaching Your Champions and this idea about don't support a charity, don't support an organization, support the mission. I was listening to the way they talked about fundraising. They said, "We want you to support K-Love. Please donate $1 a day so we can meet our fundraising goals." That's not motivating or inspiring at all. What I know about K-Love is they provide music to encourage, to inspire you throughout the day. I thought to myself, what if they reframe the way they're looking at fundraising, and instead of trying to get people to support K-Love, instead of getting people to try and help them meet their fundraising goal, what if they reframed it and said, we're on a mission to provide good music, to elevate, to encourage, to inspire Christians throughout their day. If that's a mission that you want to help promote, here's a way to participate in that mission. Here's a way to get engaged in that mission. Here's a way to own this mission. And by the way, a secondary benefit of that is they give financially to the cause. But it's not just giving financially. It's giving time. It's giving effort. It's giving energy. It's not about a fundraising campaign. It's not about an organization. I don't want you to come to these lives just so you can watch me. It's not about me. It's about this mission that I'm on, to be authentic, to be vulnerable, to be courageous, to be authentic to what God has called me to do. I'll share something really quick. Because I grew up without deep, stable relationships, my family, we had very deep, stable relationships. But as far as friends go, we moved around a lot. I didn't have deep, stable relationships. One-on-one relationship and community around me has been extremely important. That's something that I felt like I was missing growing up, and something that's extremely important. And I wanted community around me. I wanted to create community around me. But I was so concerned most of my life up until a couple of years ago about being perfect. I wasn't going to be vulnerable. I wanted it to look like I had it all together. I wanted all these things that kept me from being authentic and kept me from being stuck. And I could not create community. I wasn't being authentic. And as I transitioned into being authentic, to being vulnerable, to being Derek, letting Derek be Derek, the imperfect human being that I am creating community. Something really, really cool happened on Tuesday. I have a community around me that I've been building, authentically building. I have a mastermind that I lead for entrepreneurs. All my coaching clients, current ones and past ones, I hold a quarterly coaching session for them. I bring people together in community. And I've always seen it as people just gathering around me in community, but something really cool happened on Tuesday. One of my clients picked up the phone and called one of my other clients because they had a question for them. They didn't involve me. That's how cool is that? I've been building a community where people are now supporting each other in the community that we're in together. And the only reason I've been able to do that is because I gave up trying to be perfect. And I let myself be imperfect. I let myself be authentic. I didn't make it about me. I made it about my mission to elevate the people around me. And what do you know? They're interested in elevating each other. And so they're calling each other now and helping each other out. That is not supporting a charity. That is not supporting a business. That is not focusing on a person. That is living out the mission and getting people to engage and own a mission. I am so stoked. I am so excited. Because what I see is, as I am more authentic and more vulnerable, and as I continue living out life this way, I will continue creating community, because that's what I do authentically. I create relationships. I create community. I connect people together so that as a whole together, we're collectively living a life in a way that we get to hear individually, well done, thou good and faithful servant, when we get to heaven. Yeah, Matt, that's perfect. Like weaving a basket. Yeah, the individual strands don't do much good, but when we weave them together, yeah, it's this compounding effect. I could go on and on and on about this. I'm getting chills just talking about it. It is one of the most exciting things that I've experienced recently. Is when one of my clients called another client, because I realized what was happening was it wasn't about me. It was about the mission that I've engaged both of them in, and now they're talking. Life is awesome. I wrote this last night, and I'm realizing it even more just now. Being authentic is truly the only way to fully come alive. If you feel stuck, if you feel like something's blocking you from being authentic, send me a message. I would love nothing more than sit down with you and just talk with you about what life is like being stuck and what might be possible to help put some things in place to become unstuck, to live authentically. That's who I'm being. Have a good night, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow.